Alright, we're back with some more bird action. We're going second. There's a Savvy's Warbler in the tray, so I assume my opponent's going to grab that, so we'll be getting some free cards here. Bonus card is not good. For each column that contains birds with 3 different power colors, or Visionary Leader. Well, I think we're going to try to at least get some 3 points off of Behaviorist here. Just not great. We don't have a great wetland option, but I assume we are going to get some free cards from that Savvy's Warbler. I might go with the Loon here. It's a good 6-point body. It looks like Blue Jay might be my forest bird. And the bird feeder has a couple fish in it. So maybe I just go Blue Jay, gain food, get the fish, then I can play my Loon. Let's roll with that. My opponent did take the Savvy's Warbler, so let's throw down the Blue Jay. They played Grosbeak, so they're going to try to gain a worm here for the Savvies. I need to gain my fish. And we do have the wheat in the bird feeder. I'm going to take it because having the food is more important in the early game like this to help our development and our acceleration. My opponent gained their food. They didn't take a worm, so they're holding back on the Savvy's Warbler. They've got a fish and a wheat. Wonder what they're planning. So let's throw it on this Loon. I wonder if that Savvy's Warbler wasn't a deny and they've got like a Pie-billed Grebe or something. They gained food again. So I wonder if they don't have a 3-point or a 3-food bird they're going to play here. Or they really needed that specific food for whatever that other card is in their hand. One of these is the Savvy's. The other one must cost 3 food. So it'll be interesting to see. They have 0 birds in the wetlands, so we don't want to activate our Loon. So I think I'm just going to stall a little bit, and we'll lay eggs. And I might discard one of those eggs to get an extra card here. So there's the Savvy's. I was thinking to myself here that maybe they actually had Killdeer because they're holding on to this wheat. And maybe they took the Savvy's as a deny, but now we see the Savvy's hit the table. So it would be nice to have a grassland bird to work toward this round goal. Let's draw a card. That's garbage. And our column 1 is already borked for Behaviorist. Let's discard the egg. Paired Sparrow. That is our grassland bird. And, you know, he's going to hand me some cards with Savvy's Warbler. I'm going to hand him a card with my Loon. Nice and cooperative. Baltimore Oriole is a decent pull, but it's kind of slow right now. So there we get some cards reciprocated here. Lesser Whitethroat, I don't think that's going to help us too much. Let's get the worm for our Paired Sparrow. You know, and I wonder... A Hooded Merganser is a 5-point body with a cavity nest. That cavity nest helps with round 2. It is a bird worth more than 4 points that helps with round 4. So I'm gonna take the fish with the thought of maybe playing the Merganser, or maybe we get the Aninga there by some turn of events. Going to discard the Lesser Whitethroat, reroll, and let's get our worm for the Sparrow. And then I am going to take the wheat here, because we're not out of that early game developmental stage yet, so that could help us in the future. Another free card, so they're digging. That's a good bomb. I could actually play this as my second wetland bird, and it sets up our column 2 for Behaviorist. I have 2 activations left. I need to get a filled column for the round goal, so I think I will play the Sparrow here. So my opponent drops Ruff in their grasslands. So they've got plenty of tucking fodder for that bird. That's kind of annoying. Good drop by them. So I can discard the Hooded Merganser. Do I want to do that though? It's a Cavity Nest. What do they got for Cavity Nest? Nothing yet. So I think I'm going to gain food here. I'm going to discard the Merganser. Let's pick up this cherry for the Oriole. And we'll pick up another fish. Actually, let's grab a rat just in case we see a raven. Reroll. And I will take the food. There's European Bee Eater. I think I'm going to grab that. I'm going to discard this egg. And my opponent has 1 wetland bird. Golden Eagle, another expensive bomb. I think I will. I think I am going to hand out this card. And that's garbage. And we can discard that for more food. So it's kind of a race to see who draws the better cards here. And they're in a better position though, because they got this Ruff to cycle 3 out every round. So we see the gain food action from my opponent. We've got 3 food and a fistful of cards. Why is my loon still highlighted? That's weird. That's a graphical bug. We need worms, and there is one in the bird feeder, and there are 2 rats as well. I'm going to take this worm, discard the moorhen. I could get another, attempt to get a second worm for my bee eater. I think that's what I'm going to try to do here. We did get it. And I think I will cash the wheat here. So we have eggs from our opponent. Gearing up for their column 2 bird. They don't have a cavity nest yet. I need eggs. So let's lay our eggs. Do I spend the food? I think I'm going to keep the food because I have some expensive cards in my hand. We are getting a 3rd egg from our sparrow. Eurasian nuthatch from my opponent. So there's their cavity nest. Bolstering their forest development. Let's throw down this bee eater. My opponent gained food. So I need a cherry for this Oriole, and it is another cavity nest. I also need a worm. I don't have any cards that I want to get rid of here. Let us use our amazing bee eater lay our eggs, and get our worm. And we lay another egg. My opponent played Franklin's Gull, so I wonder if they got that off the Ruff, or they drew into it, or did I give it to them with my Loon, or did they really have Gull in their starting hand and they denied the Savvies. So now we're racing Franklin's Gull. But what else do they really have going on right now? They do have a rat. Hopefully that's not a raven on deck. Let's throw down our spoonbill. Backyard birder. We just need 2 more birds to get to 3 points. And we need 2 tucking birds. Coot is one of those birds. It also qualifies for backyard birder. And the round 4 goal is birds worth more than 4 points. So it's kind of a dilemma. If I had a tucking bird on the board already, I'd take bird counter, because I would just need to play 1 more to get 4 points. But ideally, I want to see a couple tucking birds, get them in my grasslands, and that'll make bird counter way better. But I'm only 2 away from backyard birder here. And I'm playing against a Franklin's Gull and a Ruff. It's got decent food development, so I'm kind of behind the 8 ball here. I think I'm just going to go with bird counter. And I'm just realizing too here that the 3rd round goal is cards in hand, so that Franklin's Gull is just going to load their handful of cards. Bird counter is the better bonus card, but it kind of looks like backyard birder is going to be good, but I think I'm just going to go with my gut and go with bird counter here. So my opponent laid eggs, drew more cards. I have 1 activation left. And they have 2 cavity nest birds, thanks to their Franklin's Gull. I need a worm for my Oriole. I think I'm just going to draw cards here to try to find some better option. Is the coot my bird? I don't know if Swift is. It is a tucking bird, so I think Swift is my bird. It's a 7-point play for 1 food. So bird counter's already immediately coming through for us here. The coot would be a 5-point bird for 2 food, and could bolster my draw card action going forward. I think I will grab it as the safe play. And I will not activate the Loon, because that only benefits my opponent. So my opponent played the Flicker to scoop up worms. I could go for food for my Oriole here. I'd really like to play this Eagle, but it's getting harder and harder to justify it. Turtle Dove is an option. Good bonus card bird. Collar Dove is a potentially good option. So I am going to gain food here. I think I am going to discard the coot. Got our 2nd cherry. We need a worm. We got it. And we will cache the wheat here. Got a good spread of worms there. Throw down the Oriole. golden eye from my opponent, so they're trying to lay extra eggs off my grassland engine. So let's lay some eggs here. More food from my opponent, so they're really stockpiling up here. They might have a double play where they're keeping their cards in their hand and gearing up for the next round. After we enter into round 4, they can just play a bunch of birds out of their hand and not have to worry about winning this round goal. So I think I'm going to grab the dove, or both doves rather. And they do have 2, so they're card rich right now. I think I'm just going to hand out the card, and that was garbage for me. So they played Swayson's Hawk. Still got that graphical bug on my loon there. So I think I'm going to gain the 2 rats here for my golden eagle, and I will hand out the cherry for my own dove, and I will take a wheat for my other dove. Have eggs from our opponent, so they're just going to start running their grasslands and digging for eagles or other point bombs. We are not going to win the round goal. So let's throw down. I don't have the food to feed either of these birds. I'm just going to be dropping them as point bombs because of bird counter. So let's actually throw down the eagle in the grasslands. Nothing amazing in the tray. This behaviorist is just going to be an absolute dud. Birds worth more than 5 points. They have 1, 2, or more than 4 points rather. So they have 3 of those. They've got a decent amount of food on deck and a handful of cards. Hopefully they don't have either or both of the big eagles here. We stand a reasonable chance of winning this round goal. So let's throw down the Swift. Too bad we don't have Prairie Manager here. That'd be maxed out. Maybe we'll get it off of Turtle Dove. There's a Bald Eagle Bomb for my opponent. Let's throw down the Turtle Dove. Platform Builder. So we're already scoring with that. The Collar Dove isn't going to help us out anymore with that. Let's gain the food for our Collar Dove. They gained a ton of food, so they're probably going to be just dropping all these bombs here at the end, trying to win this round goal. Let's get the Collar Dove down. And then we'll just lay eggs for the rest of the game, and all of our excess food that comes off the bee eater can go on our tucking birds here. We only have 2 activations left, so we are really only going to have the potential to get 2 worms. I think we had a pretty solid game here. Good cards, good tempo, but I don't think it's going to be enough to combat this Gull and this Ruff. We did passable on our bonus cards. Behaviorist is a big brick. There's a big trumpeter swan for my opponent, so they're just getting all the big bombs here at the end, and I mean that's what you can expect when you got you know, a card drawing bird like Franklin's Gull, and then you're just cycling all these cards on Ruff from the word go in round 1. So they're going to be really low on egg points here, though. So they're really relying on one bonus card and a bunch of bird points and round goals. So we might have a chance here to win this. And we're not going to be seeing any more bonus cards. But we'll spread our eggs around regardless. Come on, yeah. Free point there. Worm here, that's another point. And an egg there, so making good progress. And we got another bot. They just got all the big fat birds. Every single one. Drew into every single one. So, silver lining, our bird counter pick was the right play here. So now we could just spend this food on an egg as well. It doesn't make a difference. Picked up another tuck there. That's great. Got a worm there. That's great. So at least our eagle scored points. Just crazy. My opponent had all these big birds to just pressure this round goal. Bald eagle, trumpeter swan, blue-winged warbler. Let's see what they did. And then they dropped black-crowned night heron at the end. I mean, it's just like the game wants my opponent to win. But that's how it goes, I guess. Do that, and we'll do this. So they're going to win the round goal here. Amazingly. Too bad we didn't have Woologist. We got all our birds covered. Alright, if you like that action, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. It's a pretty solid game. Let's see if we could challenge this Franklin's Gull. Well, they got 0 on their bonus card. That helps. And we should actually come back on eggs here. They're going to have a decent amount of tucks, though. Yeah. 96 to 89. Well, good game to my opponent.